is where he would go to pray. How many of you have a place that you go to pray? A place that you find is a better place, and maybe it's a place you seek after more than anything. I have several. I'm sitting in one right now. Jesus had his place. You see, the word Gethsemane means oil press. It was the place where the olives were crushed and they would produce olive oil. What do we do with olive oil today besides cook with it? Anoint. We use it to anoint. And just so you know that this place, it's still there today on the Mount of Olives. And if you walk among those ancient olive trees, maybe you don't even have to go there. Maybe you can just imagine that fateful night 2,000 years ago. And you know, Jesus wrestled with his fate. He wrestled with the purpose he came here for. Even though shortly before that, just hours before, he said, "It is for this reason I came. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. This is what I came for." But as he's there in the garden and things are accelerating, he's realizing the reality. Remember, Jesus is a human being. He's a man, and he's going to suffer. He's there and he's praying, and he cries, and his sweat becomes like blood, drops of blood. And he says something in the book of Luke, and you see, he says, "Not my will, but yours be done." He said, "If there's any other way, let this cup pass from me. Things are going a bit fast, Father. Things are really moving on here. And if there's any other way." Thought comes to me that although God has a still small voice quite often, amen? But quite often his purpose flows swiftly. There's a river ever flowing, widening, never slowing, and all who wade out in are swept away. When it ends, where it's going, like the wind, no way of knowing, until we answer, call to risk it all and enter in. The river calls, we can't deny. A step of faith is our reply. We feel the Spirit draw us in. The water's swift, we're forced to swim. You see, we're out of control, and we go where he flows. There's a river ever flowing, it's widening, never slowing, and all who wade out in are swept away. When it ends, where it's going, like the wind, no way of knowing, until we answer his call to risk it all and enter in. Danger awaits at every turn. We choose a course, we live and learn. But as we surrender to His will, we're at peace, but seldom still. What did Jesus risk? He's in the garden. He's in the river. It's flowing, and it's flowing rapidly. Things are really beginning to move. He's wrestling with what he must do. He's wrestling with his purpose. God's purpose. And if you wait, you might miss yours. So about midnight, there they are. You could just make out those flickering lamps off in the distance. And there was a large group that was coming. They're coming up from that city along that same path, most likely that Jesus and the disciples had walked on earlier that day. And these were the Roman soldiers. And they didn't come alone. They brought those priests, and along with them was their guide. His name was Judas. He knew where to go because he knew Jesus very well.
Yes.
So here you are in the darkness of night. Judas knew exactly where to find him. The chief priests told him, hey, lead us to Jesus and we'll do the rest. 30 pieces of silver was all that it took for him to agree to the deal. Peter, James, John, and the rest were there